Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video, I have a new collection from Cracked Polish to share with you all. It is their beach collection and it's inspired by their Pacific Northwest beaches. Monique, the maker, wanted to create an unconventional beach sort of theme that has hues like reminiscent of coastal getaways. This is a 6-piece collection. Their price range is gonna depend on the type of polish, so between $10 to $13, or you can pick up the full collection for $59. I do have an affiliate code with Cracked Polish, so I'll leave it right here, and I'll also leave it down below. This collection will be dropping Friday, July 26th. Between the 26th and the 28th, if you purchase the entire collection, you'll get a free gift with purchase, which is going to be the polished cheeky bottoms. Now this is only going to be, I don't know if I said it, only going to be between the 26th and the 28th. Cheeky bottoms is going to be a permanent shade moving forward. It'll automatically be added to your cart, so you don't have to worry about adding it or anything like that. All right, let's get into the swatches. First up, we have Cut on Coral. This one is priced at $10 and it's described as a bright orange cream. Now it's definitely much brighter in person. It leans more towards like a pumpkin sort of orange. Now if you see a pumpkin, like think of it like, you know, about like 2 shades lighter than that. So not as bright as that orange, but not as dull as you're seeing here. I feel like this was more of a crelly sort of formula, which was fine with me. It built up beautifully on the second coat, which you will see. First coat, we get a little bit of patchiness, but on that second coat, we reach full opacity. Very easy formula to work with. It applies so smoothly. This, I feel like, is such a perfect polish for summer and for fall as well. Now, it's definitely going along with like that unconventional beach theme. I love it just because it's so versatile in the seasons that you can wear it in. I was having difficulties painting that nail, but that was just me, user error. But look how plump and juicy this looks. This has no top coat at all. This is just the formula drying down on its own. This is such a fun, like, I don't want to call it like a dusty orange because it's not that dusty. It's just a beautiful, simple, bright orange cream, but not simple in the terms where it's just ordinary. Hopefully I'm making a little bit of sense there. I think long or short nails, 2 to 3 coats will work best for you. I was fine with 2 coats on my shorter nails. So here you're seeing Cut on Coral with 2 coats. Here we have Where's My Bliss. This one is also priced at $10 and it's described as a seafoam teal corelli. So this is definitely a true corelli, and you're going to see as I'm applying coats. I ended up building it up in 3 coats, so I'm going to recommend that for long and short nails. You can see the formula is really nice to work with. I didn't have any like running or pulling or anything like that. I was just sort of getting adjusted to the formula. Prior to this collection, I was watching something completely different. So then I transitioned over to, you know, obviously a more crellier type of polish. So I was just adjusting my technique here. You can see we are very sheer on that first coat. The second coat, we're building up to that beautiful teal seafoam sort of shade. I love this for the summertime. I feel like this is a beautiful color that you can wear as a base and then use a topper over it, just because it has just because it's a lighter sort of shade, but still bright, and it's not going to take away from your topper if you decide to wear it that way. But you see here on the third coat, it builds up to pretty much full opacity on my shorter nails. I think you can reach full opacity on longer nails as well. It's just going to depend on how prominent your nail line is and on all of that. But I love these sorts of colors. I feel like they look fantastic on all sorts of skin tones. I'm just in love with that in between green and blue sort of shade. But here you're looking at Where's My Bliss in 3 coats. Next up we have Still Got Burnt. This one is priced at $13 and it's described as a milky white jelly packed with red, gold, orange shifting shimmer. And it's actually inspired by lathering yourself with sunscreen but still getting like burnt from the sun, which definitely happens to me on that like first beach day. I can slather myself in sunscreen but I will still get burnt no matter what. I feel like this captures that really well, especially with like the lighter sort of base, and then you have like that red, gold, orange shifting shimmer in here. You can see on the first coat it was sheer. Now we're really building it up on that second coat, but we're still getting some patchiness, so I would recommend 3 coats for everybody, long and short nails, and I was very happy with that third coat. We really were able to see that base build up even more. I reached full opacity on my shorter nails. The shimmer is more finely milled and it definitely disperses all throughout the nail, but we don't lose any of it within that base. Just sometimes when you get really finely milled shimmer and you get a very bright base, sometimes you can lose that shimmer. But I feel like the inspiration with this polish and the shimmer that is in here, it's so spot on. But I think this is a lovely polish. This would look fantastic as a pedicure, or even something where, you know, if you wanted to wear something more neutral on the nails but still has some sort of color and pop to it. So here we're looking at Still Got Burnt with 3 coats. And next up we have Sandy Cracks, priced at $13, and it's described as a warm sandy brown with hollow glitters. And I think we all know what the inspiration is here. This one was absolutely stunning. I love when I see indie brands just going outside of the box, and I feel like Cracked Polish is doing such an amazing job with experimenting with different shimmers and glitters and hollow and all of that. This one tended to lean a little more neutral on me, a little more on the warmer side as well, but it just looked very different. It gave me like an antique sort of vibe, but with those beautiful hollow glitters in there, it just gave that base just an extra little sparkle. I feel like this would look fantastic if you wanted something a little more neutral, if you're thinking about like a wedding, an important event, or something like that. I love the addition of the hollow glitters in this more like coppery sort of base. I feel like it just offsets that color and just turns it into something completely different. I achieved full opacity in 2 coats. I think long or short nails, you're going to get the same sort of opacity as me, and 2 coats is all that you're going to need. So here we're looking at 2 coats of Sandy Cracks. Next up we have Storms A Comin'. This is priced at $13 and it's described as a deep ocean blue with teal glitters. And the inspiration behind this is obviously you're going to the beach and then it gets cloudy all of a sudden, which has happened to me plenty of times, which is so annoying because you have the perfect sunny day, you don't think the clouds are going to interrupt, and then they do. But this one was fantastic to work with. It had an amazing formula. It built up so well. I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 coats for everybody. I achieved full opacity in 2 coats on my shorter nails. It does have more of a like thinner sort of consistency, but it's not runny whatsoever. And I think if you have a stronger or more prominent nail line, it may peek through just a tiny bit, so just keep that in mind. I'm in love with the glitters that are in this polish. It gives it a nice little sparkle, and I know this is just described like as a deep ocean blue, but I feel like it's sort of like on the metallic end. Like you can see when I like as I was polishing, we had some streaks in there. Sometimes with metallic polishes it can get a little streaky, but actually it settled down on the 2 coats, and you can see on the finger swatch here that things are pretty smooth. So I feel like it's like this metallic-y sort of shade, and I know it doesn't say there's no shifts or anything involved. I feel like we have a little bit of shift, but it could also be those teal glitters that are in this polish. So we're looking at 2 coats of Storms A Comin'. Here we have the topper of the bunch. This is Drunken Fools, priced at $13. It's described as a micro hollow glitter topper with orange gold shifting shimmers. So I'm going to show you it on its own, and then I'm going to show you it built over one of the polishes. This one is Where's My Bliss. Like I mentioned previously, right? I think this would make a beautiful base for toppers. But you can see that on the naked finger swatch, it just looks like, you know, some glitter on the nail, maybe a little bit of shift. But then when you see it on a polish, you can definitely see more of that beautiful like gold shift, and then the glitters just stand out even more. Here it is on its own, looking so lovely with a beautiful sparkle in the hollow and the lovely orange gold shiftiness. Here it is over black, and you can definitely see that orange gold shift even more. I think it looks fantastic over black, so it's gonna look gorgeous over really dark vampire colors, which I feel like is the perfect time now that we're heading into August. You know, towards the end of August, we want to kind of do that shift towards our more vampire colors, and this is going to be a beautiful topper for your dark colors as well. And the last polish that I have to share with you all is Cheeky Bottoms. So this is going to be the gift with purchase over the launch weekend. I'll leave all the details down below, but this one is described as a neon pink cream. This will be a permanent addition to the Cracked Polish website, so just FYI. Look how lovely this color is, and look how fantastic the formula. Like I love it. The cream polishes in Cracked Polish definitely have more, that I've noticed, like a curlier feel, but they build up so beautifully and they dry down so glossy. I'm always going to recommend a glossy top coat no matter what, but it's always nice to see a cream polish dry down glossy. I just love seeing that for whatever reason. I built it up in 2 coats and I thought that was perfection. I think long or short nails, 2 coats is going to work fine for you. But look at this like plump juiciness. This is such a beautiful color for the summertime. I am in love. It is super bright, super fun. I would just rock this on its own, not even put a top or anything. It's just such a perfect shade of pink. So we're looking at 2 coats of Cheeky Bottoms. All right, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these polishes. We really had some gorgeous shades. So it was really difficult to pick favorites. I'm just gonna say I really enjoyed all of them. So you tell me which ones are your favorite, if you're planning on getting the entire collection or if you plan on getting like a few select. Don't forget, I have an affiliate code if you want to use it. No pressure, but it will save you some money. The launch details and information and all that, I'll list it down below. Thank you again, and I'll see you in my next one.